Yeah. Yo, Sunday and Mondays is lit. We hit the field, pads clashing, quarterback vision, throw deep with mad passion, defense pressing, they're blitzing like wolves. I'm juking through the line, there's pressure in these moves. It's 4th and inches, pod and long. The crowd is loud, we're bringing the storm. Hail Mary in the sky, let it fly, do or die. Touchdown dance, now the end zone's on fire. Welcome to Pod and Long, your weekly blitz of gridiron football fire.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pod and Long. I'm your host, Ryan. It's great to have you with us. Welcome in one of my co-hosts. It's the Word of Drew.
So I've been watching the Spurs Thunder game on NBC, and there's barely one quarter gone, and I adore how blatantly obvious it is that Wemby hates Chet Holmgren. I'm here for all of that.
We're also here with Mr. Mike.
At this point, I think I would be more confident running the Red Sox front office than anyone on their staff.
Wow.
It's been a week.
Yeah, it has. You don't need pitchers. Come on.
We also don't need third baseman.
Nope.
Because obviously, like, when you have the opportunity to keep Alex Bregman, you're gonna no, we won't give you a no trade clause. And then they didn't they literally didn't believe he had a better offer elsewhere. And surprise, he's playing for the Cubs.
Wow. And also here, Mr. Megastar Mark. What are the Sabres doing?
Well, so the Sabres aren't playing tonight. However, I am going to bring up something hockey related. I have a bet on tonight's Lightning Penguins game.
What?
First goal, okay? I have Brandon Hagel getting the first goal. It is 0-0 with 7 minutes left in this game. I hate this game.
Wow. Wowza.
I can, but god damn it.
Oh, and Drew, I just noticed our teams are playing this evening.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
What team is your team?
Because of Black
Bruins.
Bruins and Red Wings.
Red
Okay,
Wings.
okay. All right. You're just moving all of your teams to Detroit. You're moving all your teams to Detroit. Consolidate. You need to be a Pistons fan.
Hell no. No, the Spurs are good again. The Spurs have done things in my life that have had a positive impact on me.
When Drew and I were growing up, he had a lot of Spurs stuff in his room. So that ties back to his original fandom. He can't give up on him.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. He's a big Sean Elliott guy.
Sean
Elliott. Big Avery Johnson guy.
Who wasn't?
Who wasn't? All right. Well, we have a lot to talk about tonight. It's like, we joke around, we mess around. We've got some Hackett. We've got all kinds of McConkey. We finished McConkey. Like, this is just straight up football breakdown night. Like, we got a lot of.
I had to come back.
Feel free to shut it off.
We got a lot of breaking down to do. We have no nonsense whatsoever. There's not going to be a single thing that.
Howdy, team. Coach Hackett here, and I got a new game plan. Curve plump. Pull a stick, hold your breath, and hope those marbles stay put. One wrong move, and they all come tumbling down. Curve plump.
Never mind. All right, let's start.
In 2023, 4 friends were sentenced to watch bad football for crimes they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped, arguing over text message to the YouTube underground. Today, still growing their audience, they survive with silly voices and running gags. If you have an hour to kill, if you have nothing better to do, and if you can find them, maybe you can listen to the A Block.
Oh, yes. It's just a ho-hum Tuesday where Mike Tomlin decides he's gone. He resigns from the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a 3-year discussion that has come to an end. Mike Tomlin is no longer the Pittsburgh Steelers coach after 19 years. I feel like we have to start with you, Drew.
How are you doing? Are you okay?
What I sincerely hope is that he chose to resign, and this is not one of those they got together and decided they were going to save face by him telling everybody he's resigning. Because, man, like, I understand Steelers fans are pissed off, right? And there's been a lot of talk lately about, oh, the Steelers haven't won a playoff game in 3,000 days. The Raiders haven't won a playoff game in 8,000 days. Okay. They haven't played in the playoffs, I think, more than once since the last time Pittsburgh won a playoff game. So, like, what do you want to be, Pittsburgh? Look across the river. Do you want to be Cincinnati? Because that's what you're setting yourself up for. Like, what's the... why is Pittsburgh going to rejoice over this decision? They've had a roster that's, I heard somebody say it this morning, because everybody wants to make the comparison between Marvin Lewis and Mike Tomlin, probably because they're both of a certain color. But everybody wants to make that comparison. The problem with Marvin Lewis was Marvin Lewis kept losing home playoff games where the Bengals were favored. Mike Tomlin keeps making the playoffs with a roster that shouldn't. And he's not been rewarded for that at all. Like, okay, since Big Ben has been gone, who has been their quarterback? And
lots of people,
and none of them
Mason
good.
Rudolph.
Like they turned to Poochie because Poochie was the best available option. And this is coming off them turning to Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson was the best available option. They made Justin Fields look competent for 10 games last year. And now you see how difficult a feat that actually is. Like, why is Mike Tomlin being punished? So, like I said, and again, I've said it until I'm blue in the face on this show. These are the exact same conversations that they had in Pittsburgh about Bill Cowher until they drafted Ben Roethlisberger.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's different? Like, okay, fine. Bill Cowher did make the Super Bowl once with Neil O'Donnell, but that didn't go well. Like, what are we actually arguing about here? Like, you've got a not very talented roster that's been overachieving for 6 straight years. And it seems like the impetus among Pittsburgh people is that their complaint is, but we haven't been bad enough to get a high enough pick to draft an adequate quarterback at the beginning of the first round, which is all well and good, but that implies that you are actively rooting against your team. Like, do you really want to go into that spiral? Like, oh yeah, sure. The Patriots did it. The Patriots got shitty, drafted Drake May, and now they're good again. But there's way more Raiders and Cardinals and Browns than there are Patriots who have been stuck in that death spiral for 10 years. Ask the Giants how they feel about that.
Is there, so like the whole thing with Tomlin, I keep thinking to myself, like, he does, I do think he's a hell of a coach.
Yes.
Why is I don't have my finger on the pulse of the Steelers zeitgeist here. Is there hatred or anger at their GM? Because it seems like he's the one who's not getting the correct players. Right.
There doesn't seem to be. And I'm sure, like any conscientious coach, I'm sure that Tomlin has some hand in who they contract and don't contract and draft and don't draft. But Omar Khan is their general manager, and you never hear his name.
Right. Like, I would say that if anything, that GM has failed Tomlin to get the correct players in here. Like, it felt like it was pulling teeth to get DK Metcalf there.
Yes.
Because they never ever go out and do anything.
Yes, it's not just a quarterback. Their line has problems. They have no offensive weapons. They've got like 3 okay running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, on the defensive side of the ball, they're good. And you saw that against Houston. On the offensive side of the ball, they have no talent.
Mm.
Freiermuth is their best offensive weapon.
Oh man. The funny thing about Freiermuth, if I came up to you, Drew, and you'd never seen this man, and I said, draw me a Freiermuth, you would draw exactly what he looks like.
I would draw a tight end. Yeah. I would probably draw him in an Iowa jersey, which is a mistake, but I would draw a tight end.
Wow.
I don't know. Because here's the thing: who are they going to get that's any better?
Who are they going to get that's better? Now,
Yeah, right.
And
it's not going to be Harbaugh.
They've been faced with this dilemma before, and they hired Mike Tomlin, but also that was because Bill Cowher retired, not because somebody resigned.
Right. It wasn't there
forcibly
connection
resigned
with Cowher and Tomlin. Like, Cowher recommended Tomlin. Like, there was like a lot of.
There was a clear path of succession there, almost like a college team.
Right. His fingerprints were all over that hire. I don't get the vibe that they have somebody in mind here. And
I don't think so.
Like I said, Harbaugh, to me, we might talk about it, but I feel like Harbaugh is very clearly leaning toward the Giants.
All I've heard is Giants or Falcons.
Right. Yeah. So I could see that. And then, Stefanski maybe, and even then, I don't know if that's an upgrade. If anything, it's a lateral move.
Wow. Can you imagine the Steelers taking on the Browns coach? That would be insane.
he's a fresh voice and he's a good coach.
Yeah, well, yeah,
but I don't know that
absolutely.
I don't know that he's going to work any magic with that roster that Tomlin didn't. Do they need to bottom out? Yeah, you can make that argument, but like if you have a coach that you can give even a moderate roster to and be successful, then you shouldn't need to bottom out.
Well,
There's other ways to move up in the first round if you're that desperate for a quarterback. Plenty of teams have done it.
I think they are going to bottom out. Like, I think this is like what this is what
they
the
very
Steelers
well
fans
might.
want, right? A majority of them.
Yeah.
Not a particular Steeler fan we know definitely doesn't have that
Correct.
opinion, but like if they if they go through with this and they don't have that steady hand that they've had for the last, let's be honest, 40 years, if you can count the Cowher and Tomlin
60.
60, yeah, guys,
Noel.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they don't have that steady influence, I could see this team be especially in that division, be a 4th place bottom 5 team next year.
Yeah. And then what happens, and now you're getting into the realm of the hypothetical, and that's a tough place to live, because I am reasonably confident in Pittsburgh's ability as an organization to hire a good coach.
Sure.
But they hire a coach, they do bottom out. What happens when, as an organization, it has always been their priority to keep the coach because they have confidence in the coach, but now they've bottomed out. Now what do? Do they now get rid of that guy? Do they get back on the carousel like all these other moribund teams who can't get out of their own way? Yeah. How do you sell that to your fans? Like, we hired this guy and we think he's great and we intentionally went 4-13?
I'm not sure who the candidate is. Like, that's one of the question marks, which makes me think that he actually did resign. Because if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm like,
agree.
I don't know who the guy is. Like, you want a youthful defensive mind probably to come in.
And it doesn't seem like something the Rooneys would do to just fire him outright.
Right.
That's not been their MO.
To add credence to that, though, he also did say he's going to take the year off. It's not like he's going somewhere else.
Right.
He said he's taking a year off from coaching. And typically, when you do that, there's a plan in mind. And you're not, if you just got, if you got fake fired basically here or fake resigned, you'd probably start interviewing next week, for another spot. The fact that he's not,
heel turn. Pittsburgh hires him again in front of the 2027 season.
I mean, he's going to be in demand. You would think, but he's going to be in high demand.
Poochie becomes the head coach. And then after 1 year of Poochie, they rehire Mike Tomlin. They'll have drafted Arch Manning. See, this writes itself.
No, he retains, or I'm sorry, the Steelers retain his rights. So there's a not small chance that this is like a Sean Payton situation where he takes a year off and then decides, all right, maybe I actually do want to come back to football. And then they trade him to somebody else.
They maintain his bird rights and they can trade him for a mid-level exception, but they can't take back more salary than they give up.
Or they trade him for that high pick they want in order to get a quarterback.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. If the argument is that the Steelers haven't been bad enough to go get the quarterback that they need to succeed as a franchise, there are other ways to get that pick that do not involve getting rid of a coach who has never finished below 500, won you a Super Bowl, and achieved with an underwhelming roster. Like,
my team
invest your future. Trade 3 picks for that pick if you've got a guy you believe in.
My team has made the Super Bowl and is on potentially another run now with Mr. Irrelevant. Like, part of it is, I don't know if the Steelers GM and, draft department has really done that great of a job.
They haven't.
So,
they haven't. And I grant, okay, like Mike Tomlin gets some of the blame for that. I'm sure he has a hand in that, but there's more players involved than just him.
He may, honestly, maybe the perspective is he's just kind of doesn't want to be there anymore. Maybe Tomlin doesn't want to be there.
Yeah. And by the way, when they drafted Ben Roethlisberger, I think he was like the 11th pick in the draft. It's not like they had a top 5 pick when they took him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That was the year my brother renounced his Giant fanhood because they didn't take Roethlisberger. Well, no, not even that. Yeah. It's because they ultimately didn't take Roethlisberger and they ended up with, Eli Manning, which
worked out, by the way.
Yeah,
definitely did. You could have ended up with JP Lossman in that draft.
Oh, boy.
Like certain teams did. Didn't you tell me you saw him at Clemson or something, Drew, when you were watching college ball? Like he's somewhere in the college ranks now.
Yes, he is
as like
somewhere is like an offensive analyst for
right,
somebody.
which
I
can
forget,
you
and it's not
imagine?
for Tulane, which is where
Right.
you would think he is.
I feel like every one of his pitches would be like, "Is Lee Evans on this team? Can I just throw 80 yards to him?" Like, no, JP,
Lee Majors?
you can't. Lee Majors.
Wow.
Mm.
Well, we'll see. It's
Washington, that's where he is.
Washington. Okay.
Huskies. Offensive analyst.
Come on, go back to Tulane.
Yeah, what the hell? They're good, kind of.
Yeah, right. That's
does
probably why he
Tulane want
can't
him
go back
back?
to Tulane.
That's a good question, too.
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with Tomlin. I'm assuming that the Steelers are going to get somebody youthful that we're not really super familiar with. That's my guess. That's kind of their deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of what they need. Also, they're gonna fall apart. The cats tonight are going off. Look at this guy.
Cat cast.
Mm-hmm. There's
You
Loki.
that's why you gotta watch. Yeah. Now I'm distracted by these cats. The cats are
He's
distracting me. Cats are
Mine's
distracting.
asleep.
Mike McDaniel also was fired after we went off the air after.
Yeah,
which
right.
is pretty silly because the Miami Dolphins were like, he's gonna help us find a GM. Nope, never mind. He's also fired.
Did I send you guys the Goodfellas gif of that? Of Mike?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
Couldn't remember. Who I sent it
wondered.
to.
I do wonder absently if Miami had every intention of him helping find a GM, and all the GMs they talked to were like, "No, I'm picking my
No.
own coach."
Yeah, right.
And by the way, rumor connecting Mike McDaniel to the head coaching vacancy with the Browns, which is the funniest
Wow.
possible outcome, and so
God.
therefore the one I want to happen.
No,
Our friend
we've
Killer
got
Greg
one. Yeah.
wants the Tennessee Titans to take Mike.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
which would be real fun. Actually,
It
would be.
It's
know?
Greg's guy. Greg
Yeah,
loves
right.
him.
Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely.
Greg
If Killer
loves
Greg
him.
was a
So
coach,
right.
he would be all about that guy. Yep.
It would be the funniest outcome if he was the Titans coach. That would be hilarious. Also, Cam Ward and him might be fun together. I don't know. But it is funny. You get fired from your job, and then every team, like every fan base, is like, "We'll bring it." Well, our plan is to bring in Mike McDaniel as offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Like the Lions want to do it. There's all these fan bases are like, "That's how you fix the team." What?
I'm honestly a little surprised he's getting head coaching looks.
I am
But,
too.
Right?
I am too, frankly.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you gotta. I don't know. I hate to say this. Does he count as a minority? Because he's Latino?
Yes, he does.
He identifies
Does he? All
as
right,
Latino.
all right.
His,
That might
I
be
believe
it.
I believe his father was of some other descent. Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but that might be the reason he's
I
getting.
think-
wonder
yeah, I
that
think
too,
it's
and if nobody wants
partially
to
that.
say that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going around anyway.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But yeah, McDaniel's out, Tomlin's out. Maybe McDaniel goes to the Steelers. Oh, I remember what I was going to say before the Cats came through. The Steelers defense is going to fall apart incredibly quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at the structure of that defense, like we've got Jalen Ramsey, he's on his last
Oh
legs.
my God.
Joey Porter Jr. is not, there's a lot of people he's coached up other than TJ Watt. And that Cam Hayward's probably going to retire.
Fire.
Like,
Yep.
That
could be
defense
bad.
is going to
Like-
fall apart quickly.
Honestly, with some of the
I mean,
injuries
Peyton-
Watt's gone through, I could see him walking away earlier than expected. So
Yeah, I mean Highsmith's pretty good and Peyton Wilson's pretty good, but they're not as good as those guys you just named.
The Steelers' job is always going to be an appealing job as a coach.
Yes.
Because the owner,
Mhm.
this is literally going to be the fifth coach in the entire history of the franchise.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Or since the ownership group that has it now. Like, that is a team where even if you're in a situation where, like, okay, it's not great right away, you're not going to have the rug pulled out from under you in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You're going to get a window of time where your job is going to be safe and you're going to be allowed to build whatever it is you're going to build.
that's a good point.
And the rest of the division is going to be in utter chaos. The Browns are going to be bad. Cincy's going to be Cincy's going to be trick or treat, depending on if they actually end up firing their coach and or getting an offensive line. And Baltimore, to me, is the real interesting case here because, again, they are a model of consistency as well. Like, they've had 3 coaches as well, and they've had a long, and Harbaugh did a great job there. Do they hit that again? Do they hit it where, like, okay, we get another coach who's this good? Or is it going to be like we're going to hire Rick Neuheisel or just somebody like utterly
boy.
ridiculous.
The passion bucket.
That
Rick Neuheisel coaching the UFL this year, by the way.
or just anything in terms of like. And again, the ownership seems to be smart in both cases. I think, and I think it's going to shake out, and I think it's going to be relatively calm. And I don't think it's going to be bad hires either way because they don't seem to be organizations that make bad hires. But I mean, Cleveland's going to Cleveland, but I would still take if I'm a coach and I'm approached by Pittsburgh to take that job, I strongly consider taking that job. And for the love of God, Harbaugh, do it. Do it. Take the job.
Switch sides.
Do it.
Nah, I can't imagine him. I'll tell you
Oh
what.
my
though,
God, it'd be such a heel turn. It would be such a WWF heel turn. Do it.
I still feel, by the way, the more this goes on, I feel like Saleh to Baltimore is such a good fit. Like he just seems like that's
your mouth when you talk to
me. I think he's gonna do
He's
it.
not staying in San Francisco.
No, he's 100% not staying
because,
next year.
because
One
by
more
the
year.
way, like this, everyone knew this year was the year in which he washed the stink of the Jets off him, and then he'd be viable again.
Besides, if he goes to Baltimore, he's not even in your conference. Like he's totally.
I'm selfish. I want to keep him for me. And again, I'm sure we'll talk about this in later. But how is Shanahan and his whole coaching staff not coach of the year? Like they are literally putting together a team with band-aids and dreams, and they are winning playoff games and potentially playing for a Super Bowl. Yeah. This is his best coach. This is, again, Shanahan has screwed the pooch on a number of occasions. And I have been critical of him myself. This is the best coaching job he's done in San Francisco since he's been there.
I was just thinking, is he now the second longest, now that Tomlin's gone? Because Andy Reid's still number one for longest tenured coach in the NFL. Is Shanahan number two?
Might be.
He might be.
Or McVay. One of those two has got to be up there.
It's a good question.
And even then, though, it's only like 7 years, 6 years, 7 years, maybe, or 8. Maybe it's 8. But like,
so I saw the statistic today that with Tomlin gone, 16 of the league's 32 teams have changed coaches within the last 12 calendar months.
Wow. That's crazy.
McVay and Shanahan have both been there since 17.
Oh, there you go. So they got to be there. I mean, I can't imagine anybody. Yeah. So
they are tied for second. And Buffalo's own Sean McDermott is included in that group. Shawnee Boy is tied for second for longest tenured coach.
So they all showed up at the same year, huh?
Yes.
McDermott, McVay, and okay.
And Shanahan were all 2017.
Well, we're pretty much out of Sean McVay acolytes. There's like no more left. So all these teams who want new coaches, like there's no more nobody who shared an elevator with Sean McVay is available anymore.
The assistant to the tight end coach is no longer a head coaching.
Anybody who knew Sean McVay at one point.
Freaking Nagy might get a head coaching job. And Kansas City looked awful this year.
Right.
Why?
I saw a good meme with him where just like, Nagy goes for interviews with, I forgot who it was, like Titans or something like that. And it was that gif of the guy just points to himself like, me? Really?
Me?
The important thing to note is that the opposite thing happened in college football where the coaches with like the second, third, and fourth longest tenure were gone, but Kirk Ferentz is still hanging on at Iowa.
Listen, the NFL needs him there.
Yes, they do. You need offensive linemen with short arms and tight ends.
Yes.
Somebody needs fullbacks, tight ends,
and
offensive
safeties.
Somebody's got to have.
I'm only half joking that the NFL.
Don't forget occasional white cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, you got a couple of those.
Fucking churn out those tight ends. So.
Got a couple of those. All right. Well, that's the coaching carousel. But let's talk about the playoff games. Let's break these suckers down. Let's start in the AFC. Let's start with last night. Texans over Steelers. I would say the first 3 quarters are irrelevant.
Yeah.
7-6 going into the fourth quarter. It seemed like Stroud. How many times did this guy fumble? He fumbled a bunch.
I know.
I was told he's better than Brock Purdy.
Well,
I mean, the jury's still out, but
yeah,
he completes one 49-yard pass. They're able to kick a field goal, and that 3 4-point lead seemed to be insurmountable. Once they reached 4, the Steelers were cooked.
It was like having a 4-goal lead in soccer.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then they were able to pin their ears back and just absolutely wreck Poochie, which is why I picked them. I'm like, Poochie can't move. He can't get away from them. He's not going to be. As soon as they can go after him, he's dead. Like, if he survives the game, I'd be shocked.
When it makes you wonder why they didn't do that at the beginning. Like, how do you not know Poochie ain't getting away from this?
Right. Also, man, I don't think he gets enough credit. Will Anderson is real.
Oh God, he's so good.
Oh,
that dude he is a home destroyer.
Yep. He really
They were wrecking, game wrecking in that second half. And then all of a sudden things opened up and they just kept scoring.
Yeah, the teams that Houston's had trouble against are the mobile quarterbacks because they can escape those blitzes or they can do a quick read. Like, I mean, I just was shocked they didn't send more people early in that game. So,
yeah,
Poochie
and then
ain't escaping anything.
Potentially, Poochie's final pass is a pick 6, which made me laugh. Did make me laugh.
So I read something interesting today. So he is. So you'd think that he would retire, right? I mean, I think we were all hoping he would retire.
Yes,
he is only like 5 touchdowns away from 3rd overall, though, and he's like 7 wins away from like 5th overall. I'm like, oh, that's too close. Like, I bet he comes back. I bet he tries it one more time just to get the record, just to be like, because he can't catch 2 or 1, but he can catch 3. So
who's desperate enough to bring him in, though?
Does Hackett come? Does Hackett come to Pittsburgh?
Bring in Hackett.
Yeah, that would be. He doesn't go anywhere. And
I
they
love
bring in
Permantes.
people for
Oh
him.
my God! They put the fries right on the sandwich. It's delicious.
Hackett. I need Hackett back.
Sometimes you gotta like eat your food and you gotta have the fries off to the side. But now it's all in one. It's like it's an efficient way to beep. Ah, shit.
Nah.
Halfback dive. I don't know.
Is he actually doing anything? Do we know what he is or isn't doing right
He's
now?
He was Green Bay's like film room assistant or something. He had like a weird job that Green Bay made up for him.
I'm gonna have that burnt almond toast. It sounds delicious. I love burned almonds. Burns my nuts and I don't have a job.
Oh God. I wish Hackett would come back.
Where's the chipped beef?
DK Metcalf was not good. The running game wasn't there.
What happens to him?
Old.
Like,
yeah, that's a
good
mess too.
Right.
He hasn't
like
done
he ain't gonna
himself
be
any
happy
favors.
there.
I don't know.
George Pickens is a free agent. He could. Oh wait.
Oh God.
I think that's going to be a full clearance. Yeah, garage sale.
You're gonna trade him.
You want a Joey Porter Jr.? You can have him.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Texans look awesome though. They look real good in that. I mean, in the 4th, they look good. They strike me as a team. We'll get to our predictions, but they look very scary.
I did. Let's talk about the Bills and Jags. This Bills and Jags game was strenuous. Josh Allen literally won this game for Buffalo.
Josh Allen is good at football.
That's what it's going to take. And
this team is,
and we knew that.
Right.
I was thinking about this I was talking about a coworker about this the other day. I believe that at this point, Josh Allen is this generation's John Elway. He is a dude who's kind of been knocking on the door. He is Elway carried a lot of those Bronco teams like on his back repeatedly. And I do not want Josh, if I'm a defense, I do not want Josh Allen to have the ball at the end of a game. He's just one of those dudes where there's not a lot of dudes left in the league who are like, shit, I don't want him having the ball with this amount of time left. Allen is absolutely one of those dudes. And I think it's just something where like there's a semi-mediocre team of dudes around him and he just wills them to win. He reminds to me, again, moving it, throwing on the run, using his legs, big physical guy. Like he reminds me of Elway.
Yeah.
I think that might be a reasonable historical comparison for him right now.
He's not I feel like a pissant.
Yeah.
What's that?
Say that out loud. I said he's not as much of a pissant.
Well, no, very few people are.
Yeah.
And both have experience with livestock.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Josh Allen being a farmer and John Elway being part horse.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
The Jaguars look good though. They were playing this game. I feel like this was the worst matchup for them, which is a shame because I feel like they would have beaten the Patriots. I feel like they would have probably beaten they would have definitely beaten the Steelers. So I mean, like this was this was not a great matchup for them. They did a great job though of shutting down James Cook, who I think is obviously a lot of attention for Buffalo goes to Josh Allen. James Cook led the league in rushing.
Yeah.
And he just I don't know. I feel like he's an afterthought, but they clearly planned for him, and it showed. They did. Their defense
they're
going into that game.
Mark,
legit.
that rush defense hadn't even allowed a 75-yard rusher the entire season.
They still didn't. They ended the season not doing that because Cook had like 59 yards.
That is, and I can't even say the Jags lost this game necessarily or like blew it.
No, they didn't.
It was one of those, it's one of those games where just whoever kind of had the ball towards the end, it was going to work out better for them. And it worked out for the Bills. Like if I'm a Jags fan, I'm unhappy that we lost, but there is a lot to be hopeful for.
Absolutely.
With this Jags roster. That defense is good. It is quick. It is aggressive. That front seven is brutal.
Yeah. And that coach, Liam Cohen.
He's a good coach.
He is a good coach.
Yeah.
He's a goof, but he's a good coach.
Trevor Lawrence seems to like it, and he's brought out the best in Trevor Lawrence because we're no longer having discussions about is he good at football at all.
Yeah.
And you don't know how much difference he would have made in a rookie year, but they did all this without Travis Hunter.
Yeah, right.
They didn't even have the whatever he was, second or third overall pick.
Yep.
They're gonna have to figure out how to get him in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a weird way, it kind of echoes the 04 Pistons where Darko was the rookie and they ended up not needing him. But different reasons, different circumstances.
Yeah, I'd have to do a deeper, like a deep dive. Like if the Jags had picked somebody else and not made that trade, would have worked out better? I don't know. We gotta think about that in like 5 years. But that trade is gonna be interesting to revisit, like because they traded up to get that.
Yeah.
Well,
to get
really,
that
they
to
needed
move up.
Rasheed Wallace.
There you go. But Trevor Lawrence threw the game-losing pick. I mean, he didn't disappoint. He had to do that at the end. He had to throw that pick at the end.
The number one rule: don't throw at Wonder Bread. Come on,
don't do that.
Not. That's becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Don't throw at Shaq Thompson either, my guy. Stop throwing at my guy Shaq Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
He picked one off, and he almost had a second one.
Just survive and win.
How do you feel about this Bills team, like going forward now with some more injuries? Poyer's injured now. You lost Gabe Davis. He's out.
Next man up.
Okay.
This is a team that nobody expected to do anything this year.
That's why they're going to win.
We'll see.
And they have on either side of the ball, they have the best player left.
We'll see.
Who's their best player on defense, do you think?
Joey Bosa, who had a terrible game.
Not Joey Bosa.
Joe Bosa looked awful. He got pancaked by Jacoby Myers, who was involved. You remember historically in the best play in NFL history.
He was badly on the bad side, but yes, he was involved.
So and I guess if I have to do anything, like that D line got no pressure on Trevor. He had all day to fucking throw, and that was missing their left tackle. That's terrible. Like that team, that D line has to step up in a huge way, and that's gonna be the thing moving forward. Is the defense is gonna have to really step up, and we'll see.
But now the defensive scheme just kind of vanilla and boring though. Like the Bills' defense doesn't seem like it does anything really like overly inventive with rushes or coverage schemes. It's very.
There's a lot of movement, and I don't know how effective that is, but not on first, but on second and third down, there's a lot of moving around on the Bills defense. Maybe that, I just don't see how that would confuse Trevor Lawrence, who's been in the league for like 7 or 8 years, maybe on a rookie quarterback or a second-year quarterback, it will, but I don't know.
Well, and now you get Bo Picks, who is not nearly as dynamic as Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, but that
defense there is no quarterback left in the Bills' path who is as dynamic as Trevor Lawrence is this year.
No,
fair point.
Denver's defense though is very scary. So, like I said, the Bills are going to they're going to have to find some way to attack it, whether it be the tight ends or whether it be get James Cook running. But they went from the number one against the number one rushing defense in the league to now the number 2 rushing defense in the league.
Well, that should mean they get better yards.
That's right.
Slightly better.
But again, I don't think excuse me. I don't think Denver's offense is nearly as dynamic as Jacksonville's.
No, I don't think they
I
are
think
either.
it's something where I think Bo Nix, we call him Bo Picks for a reason. Like, has he really had to pull the iron out of the fire that many times to that team this year? Like,
nope.
If he throws a boneheaded pick and the Bills get up 10, are you scared of Bo Nix leading the comeback charge? I don't know.
Haven't they not scored over 20 points most of the season?
It's
Like
when they score under where they keep it the other they're like 6-2 or something like that. But I mean, here's the thing: like in Mile High, I mean that's a tough challenge to do. That really is. That home.
But
field
I mean,
is
but in fairness, this Bills team is one of the more seasoned playoff teams. They go into Arrowhead and win games. They go into maybe not in the playoffs. But I mean, they go into Arrowhead and win games.
That hurt, Mark, right there.
No, well, hold on. I want to point out.
I mean, it's a caveat. It does matter. Here.
No, I know.
I'm not doing it to be a jerk.
Going into
they
last
go to Baltimore
game
and win games. Like,
yes,
I think of any of the AFC teams left. If you're looking at the other three besides the Broncos, I think the Bills certainly have the best chance of beating the Broncos.
Well, it's Broncos are going to be, and plus also the Bills knocked the Broncos out last year, so there is a revenge part for the Broncos too. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but we will see. We will see. And then one of the funniest things going.
They scored 30 in one game. I'm sorry, 2 games this year. 3. Sorry, the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Packers.
Packers are okay. Packers are
all right. There's one.
Going into last week, they said like Josh Allen had not won a road playoff game, right? Which is true. I mean, it was true. However, and the Bills hadn't won a road playoff game since 1992. I think it was, right? I want to point out though, the Bills weren't in the playoffs for about 20 years,
right?
So there's a big gap there. And then a lot of times they played home games, so
they were good enough to have home games.
Right. Little misleading. So.
You can make stats bend them at your will if you'd like.
Right.
In a game that we all
lies and statistics.
In a game we all predicted would be the worst game of the weekend, it was pretty much the only bad game. It was Patriots-Chargers. Oh, God. And the Chargers decided to not show up to the playoffs.
Injuries or no. Can we be real about Justin Herbert?
Oh, man.
Justin Herbert ain't good in the playoffs, man.
He sure isn't.
Same thing you've heard on him forever. No killer instinct. No extra gear he can go to. He's just not that guy.
I mean, that O-line was racked by injuries. I mean,
absolutely.
It was bad. I think one out of 5.
0.
Well, I don't disagree with you.
3 points. 3 points.
The Chargers did come out and fire Greg Roman today.
I mean, good.
He stinks.
But,
he's awful.
But I didn't realize this. He has been Harbaugh's offensive coordinator every single year that Harbaugh's coached in the NFL.
Yes, he has. Right. I'm guessing that the Chargers ownership was like, you got to do something.
Well, we didn't talk about this during the coaching section, but there was a lot of coordinators that got cleared out. Cincy, not Cincy, I'm sorry. Philly didn't fire him. They just said he's no longer the offensive coordinator. So like he might be somewhere on the staff doing something, but he might be getting demoted.
We got a lot to say about them in a minute.
Yeah. They fixed the glitch.
It's going to be great. But a bunch of teams are clearing offensive coordinators too. There's some others that I'm forgetting right now. And
we call them the scapegoats.
It's
their fault.
You've got one more year to fix this.
Their fault, not mine.
I want to talk about the Chargers again though, real quick. So like they were so flat in that game, and Herbert was running for his life.
Yes,
it was like the snap would happen, and the Patriots would be all in the backfield, and he was just, I have no option other than just run, and like that is I mean, I know injuries are there, but that has to be scheme. That has to just be shit scheme. Like I don't know.
Because if you know your offensive line is hurt, then you keep extra protection in.
Right. It was just difficult to watch.
It's Harbaugh's offensive scheme. They run the ball. They don't seem to want to run the ball this year. I don't understand why they don't use Amarian Hampton, but okay. I know he's hurt for a while, but
I said though, going into that, we all said it. Going into that game, that we all, I think, did we all pick the Patriots?
Yes, okay. We swept the Patriots.
The Patriots though, incredibly lucky they got the Chargers in the first round.
Because
this team, I'm going to talk about it now. I guess we'll talk about it later. Actually, I'll hold off and when we give our picks. But like this team up until once again the fourth quarter looked just as bad as the Chargers.
It was
did.
9-3 for a long time.
Right.
All right, let's move over to the NFC. I don't want to devote any more time to that game. The Rams defeated the Panthers.
Barely.
It was a different game than we thought it was going to be.
Yes, it was. You gotta feel good about the Panthers, Ryan. I mean, after that type.
It's been burning now for years. The winner's circle's been salted by the fan base's tears.
I gotta play it.
By the corpse of Frank Reich for a coach who wrote a book about sex.
All right, that's good enough.
Come on, for real. You can't play that type of song with the season they had.
And you come away with this knowing that Tet McMillan is the real deal.
Yeah. Right.
That was nice. That was nice. It was nice to have a real deal a draft pick that worked, guys. The draft pick worked. Oh my God. We got it right.
How dare you besmirch the good name of Xavier Legette?
Yeah, he's not good. And was bad in this game again. Well, the game started as I expected. 14-0 Rams. Can't cover Puka Nacua. Okay. But then things started happening. The Rams started feeling some pressure. And then eventually Carolina, they did a lot of stupid shit. They fumbled a punt. Like, you can't do this stuff in the playoffs. You can't fumble a punt and expect to win. You can't throw a tipped pick and expect to win. You can't do that kind of stuff.
You can throw a tip pick and win. It happens.
Well, yeah. When you compound all of them together, though, but at one point, I did. It was weird because I was excited for the game. You know, I got all my jerseys. It's like I got 5 jerseys. Which one am I going to wear? I'm going to change every 2 minutes. I'm going to be changing. And it was, bad early. So I was like, okay, it doesn't matter. This is exactly what I expect to happen. Then they end up coming back. Then they block a punt. And I'm like, wait a minute. What? Then they score and take the lead in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. And I'm like, okay, well, there's a lot of time left, but they also still have 3 timeouts. And they have the lead in a playoff game at home in the fourth quarter. That is insane. I had to send that message out. Let's mark this moment as a moment in time. I may never get to say this again. They have the lead in the fourth quarter. And then the Rams came down and scored. As very nice pass by Stafford to was it Cody Parkinson?
He's another one. What Mike was just talking about, where like you do not want the ball in his hand with 2 minutes to go.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
you don't. But then the Panthers get the ball back, and the momentum the air had kind of come out of the balloon a little bit, and it was fourth down, and there were some weird play calls in there and some weird defensive calls. If you want to get real nitty gritty on Coach Sex's book, I think he was outclassed a little bit at the end there by McVay. But then they have a fourth down converted, and Jimmy Horn Jr. drops it.
But again,
and the game ends.
They were in positions to win that game in the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, they were.
I know, but like to lose on a drop is brutal. It's rough.
Ask Philly.
Well, I'm going to get to them in a second, but
listen, if you had the takeaway here is that Bryce Young needs a trailer full of injecting prostitutes.
Yeah,
right.
Like that's the difference.
Yes,
that would have put them over the top.
Or some longer legs. Can the prostitutes extend his legs? Get him a little bit tall.
No, I'm not going to continue that conversation.
Yeah, don't do that.
Maybe they'll do us, Drew.
I don't know. It's weird. It's like it's an overachieve. It's cool to have a playoff game. It's cool to be in one and exciting and not blown out by the Rams, but it also sucks to drop the ball to lose the game. And then I found myself angry at the Rams because they're talking shit at the end, like they had not almost blown this game. Like, you don't leave that much time for number 9. Like, you almost blew it. Yeah. A 10-point favorite.
You almost lost to a team that was under 500 that made the
Yes, you almost blew it. Simmer down, people.
I think on Twitter somebody referred to like the Rams as playing with their food again. I'm like, ooh, that seems right. That seems like
I guess it was. But I don't know.
You're right. They shouldn't have been celebrating after
They're
something like that, but
talking shit like they had done something.
yeah, honestly, seeing that game made me change kind of my opinion on the Rams a little bit. But
Really?
a little bit.
All right. Well, we had that one. Yeah. I don't know. What were your guys' thoughts on that game? Were you
I just
surprised?
think your Panthers are headed in the right direction. That's what I think.
That was my takeaway. I thought they looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some bad stuff in there though. There was some like the defensive calls weren't great towards the end. Why are you playing prevent defense against the pressure's working.
Don't
Keep
ever do that.
pressuring them. Go out with pressure. Go out with pressure.
What is your number one need in the offseason for the Panthers? Not coaching related, for player related.
Yeah, I mean, you want to keep obviously keeping the coach staff together.
Yeah.
I think we need offensive line depth. I think we were still they lost Ike Ekwonu in this game, and then the guy who came in was literally rated as the worst left tackle in the NFL for pressures, and so there's no backup. So as soon as Ekwonu went out, that was a disaster. And then the defensive pass rush, there's no rush. They have to blitz every time, which is causing things like Stafford tearing them apart at times. And Nakua dropped a wide open pass at one point. Like, this game could have been a little bit different had the Rams not stepped on their own dicks a few times. Yeah. But pass rush and protection, I think, has to be.
Well, those are your draft priorities.
Yeah, it has to be.
Now, again, just I'm ignorant here. Do the Panthers, despite winning a division still and being a playoff team, do they still figure down in that teen range for a pick?
I think they have the 18th or 19th. No, they have the 18th or 19th pick, I think. Something like that. It's a mid-round pick.
Okay.
So we'll see. Maybe a tight end. Maybe a tight end could fall. One of those Iowa tight ends could fall.
Oregon's tight end,
there's 6 of them,
like the number one, just said he's coming out.
Yeah, he's a physical freak. He's dynamite.
Maybe somebody like that could really help. Like another catcher, but they can't rush the quarterback. Like, they cannot rush the quarterback.
Well, that's fine. You should be able to find at least somebody with some pass rushing ability. So
without bringing 8, they can't really rush. So it'd be nice if we could keep some more guys in the secondary. But yeah, I mean, fun to care about a playoff game that I thought we were going to get blown out in. So
absolutely,
I'll take it.
Panthers are 19th.
Yeah, 19th. So it's possible you can get something there. All right, let's move on to the 2 games that were the most interesting and delicious. The 49ers defeated the Eagles. We'll start with our 49ers fan, Mr. Mike. Go ahead.
Fuck Philly. I see the remainder of my time.
Oh, you're going to do it, Drew?
So, by the way, to read our text chain, you would not have known the 49ers won this game.
Yes.
Oh, no. Look, me watching, very few people remember this besides me. There was a SNL sketch in the 90s when Jim Carrey was hosting where it was like a weird infomercial. It was Ride the Snake. And that's just what it is.
Remember
Ride the Snake.
Ride the Snake.
That's what it is with me watching a Niners game in the playoffs. You experience the highest of highs and the lowest of lows and the creamy nougat centers. It's a lot. And there were parts of that game where I'm just like, what the hell are they doing? But overall, but again, they are put together with duct tape and dreams at this point. They have just lost, and they might actually get Fred Warner back for the NFC title game.
That'd be awesome.
They just put him on
I saw that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be huge for that defense because they need a little more help in the middle there. But look, they match up well against Philly. For some reason, Mike Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan just has Sirianni's number. Unless we have Josh Johnson at quarterback, we whoop Philly in the playoffs. We're just going to beat them. It was a little seesaw there, but at the end of the day, I picked them last week, and I didn't just pick them because I'm a homer. I truly thought they were going to beat the Eagles, and they did. Little tomfoolery, little trickery. Would have liked to see a little bit more out of McCaffrey. Kittle blowing out his Achilles is exactly how this season is going. Do you guys see the conspiracy theory / theory that part of the reason for the Niners' injury woes is that their practice field is directly next to a massive electrical substation.
This
that
week I heard about that.
That prolonged exposure
Yes.
causes like deep tissue injuries and
That's
joint
crazy.
things, which is all the problems the Niners always seem to have.
But also, I don't say that
Move the
that's
practice
not
field,
true.
guys.
I don't say that that's not true. I also say, have you been to the city of Buffalo? The entire thing is high power wires.
No, it's not wires, Drew. It's not wires. It's
the actual substation.
It is literally their practice field is directly next to a substation that is 3 times the size of their practice field.
Did you? This is a fun story about a sad situation. But after Kittle went down, did you hear what he ordered in the locker room?
Yep.
That is
Tequila.
hysterically funny.
No, what do you
What did he order?
Tequila.
Tequila.
I mean,
They brought it
if
to him.
there's ever a time to get drunk, you might as
I know.
well.
And apparently in the locker room after the game, you could kind of hear him.
Yeah, like he was just sitting on the bench, just drinking tequila while the
Pounding
rest of
tequila.
the game was going on.
No
I mean,
mas,
that-
no mas.
Honestly, I hope
not?
it's not because I like Kittle as a player. I like watching him. That's a career killer potentially for him. He's old.
At his age.
Yeah, he's
it's
not
so
that
He's
old.
old, and
They'll be
the
fine. Shut up.
Achilles injuries with skill positions is never good. It's
He's
never
an Iowa
good.
tight end. He'll be fine.
Yeah,
He'll be fine.
right.
True,
Exactly.
he is an
He's
Iowa.
from
Or he'll
Iowa.
just clone
I
another
hope,
one.
I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong about that. But
Anyway,
49ers.
overall, look, Purdy played really. One of the picks was boneheaded. The other one was just kind of. He didn't play great, but he played good enough when he needed to. And Shanahan called a decent game, and Robert Saleh won himself. If he wasn't getting a job, he got a job after
Absolutely, he did.
after that game on Sunday.
Yep.
The Niners defense, which is just a depleted roster.
Cats.
Cats. There's the new promo. Cats.
Football. Cats.
What?
More
Football,
cats.
cats.
Football.
And don't forget Jake and the Fart Dog.
Cats don't like fart dog.
Oh, I hate him. They
Wow,
hiss
that
at
was
Fart
a
Dog.
little weasel.
They hiss at Fart Dog.
This Niners team just keeps winning games, and yes, they have to go play Seattle. Yeah, they lost to Seattle, 2 weeks ago, but it was a weird loss. Like McCaffrey doesn't have that weird bobble. Like they lost by 10 points. They lost like 13-3.
Mm-hmm.
To a Seattle defense that is phenomenal. That defense is great, but they sat for a week. And again, coming off a bye is not all. Sitting for a week is not always the best option. And I still point to the fact that I don't know if I trust Sam Darnold to win me a big playoff game if I need
He's
him.
literally never done it.
He hasn't done it yet.
Correct.
So I mean,
And I would say Seattle is favored definitely, but I don't think this is a clear like this, or this is not a Patriots Chargers game where it's like, oh yeah, they're clearly going to lose. Like the Niners have a really legitimate shot at winning this game, and Rams and who's the other team they're playing? I've already forgotten who the Rams are.
Bears.
Like I think the Niners can beat both of those teams too.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I'm cautiously optimistic, but I also am not going to be shocked if they lose this game.
Can we talk about Sirianni fighting with AJ Brown on the
Yeah.
sidelines? That was really
AJ
funny.
Brown is going to be
Let's
playing
talk-
football somewhere else next year.
Okay,
100%,
all right.
yeah.
So there's some things on this show that we've talked about for years. Okay, we talked about Mike Tomlin ain't gonna be this coach and we've debated that, but he is not the Pittsburgh Steelers coach anymore. We've also talked about AJ Brown is not going to be on the Eagles next year. You can mark it down. And a lot of people have said, no way, no way. We got a lot of Eagles fans in the comments saying, no way. He is not going to be on the Eagles next year. I don't think either side wants it. Like, I don't think the Eagles want him back. I don't think he wants to be back.
How were you able to read their sentences? Was it all jarbled and just smashing the keyboard because they
Well,
don't
now-
know?
now
Ryan's
it would be.
really good at interpreting emojis.
Gotcha.
Oh, yes, I have. That's a skill.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me going to this game that Christian McCaffrey is going to have 35 yards rushing, that Brock Purdy is going to throw 2 interceptions, that George Kittle's not going to make it out of the first quarter, I would tell you that the Eagles are probably winning this game.
Yeah, but they didn't.
This is the ultimate, like, the hubris of the Eagles of like, we'll just figure it out. Well, you didn't figure it out.
Well, I think Drew, I think you might have said this last week that there was this continual refrain of the Eagles haven't played their best game yet. The Eagles haven't played their best game yet.
Maybe they have.
They did.
Yeah.
Well, they did. And it wasn't Sunday.
Yeah.
They played their best game at some point during the season, and it wasn't Sunday.
By the way, comment of the weekend from Mark on a text chain where he said Nick Sirianni looks like the kind of guy who has 2 Scarface posters in his house, including a framed one in the bathroom.
2 Scarface.
2 Scarfaces.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't be fired because he won the Super Bowl last year, but he is.
It would be a dramatic exit to fire him after one season after winning the Super Bowl.
He's as close to it as it could ever come, I think.
Right. That seat is scorching going into next season.
And their offense looks
if they don't win at least 11 or 12 games and make it out of the first round of the playoffs, I think he could be gone.
Now, they do benefit from a real shit division, so that's helpful. But
how much of the blame do you put? I mean, we've been talking about Sirianni's going to get, he's going to get shit canned in a spectacular way at some point. It's going to happen. I mean, maybe it's 2 years from now, but at some point, something's going to happen. I mean, the guy can't keep it in his pants. Something's going to happen. He's going to scream at somebody. He's going to punch somebody on the sideline. Something's going to happen, right?
Just waving it at AJ Brown.
Not Bobby Petrino. What are we doing here?
You know it though. He's just going to do something dumb. Like it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I am going to go with ethnic slur.
Yeah. He's going to say something.
Ethnic slur repeatedly.
Now,
like in the attempt to apologize for ethnic slur, uses ethnic slur again.
But a different one.
We're talking about Philadelphia here. I don't know if ethnic slur is enough to get you fired.
I feel like
it might actually get you promoted.
It'd be an ethnic slur, but one that hasn't been used since like the 50s. Like a really antiquated ethnic slur.
And for a group of people that no one really talks about in a derogatory manner.
We're gonna have to look it up.
Like he really has it in for Swedish people.
Right. A weird. Yeah. How much of the blame? Let's talk about this seriously though. Like, how much of the blame does Jalen Hurts deserve for losing this game? We have to start talking about this. We have to start talking about Jalen Hurts not being as good as people think. I think.
Which is all well and good, but they got a lot of problems.
Yeah, on this podcast, I don't think any of us have been super high on Jalen Hurts.
We've been lured in. Well, though he was third or fourth on the Orton line, fifth maybe this year.
But I feel like it was default. It was I actually looked at the Orton line earlier this week, and man, I feel like there's going to be a lot more people above the line than there were when we did in the fall. So,
well, there can't be many fewer.
Phillip Rivers, he'll be above the line.
God bless him. I might put him there just for honor's sake.
Yep.
Defend the line.
That's like at the Oscars when they give somebody a Lifetime Achievement Award Oscar.
Yes.
Phillip Rivers gets that.
Yeah.
I think we just get it with the Phil Rivers.
The Rivers line. Yeah.
The Rivers line is coast.
It's not the Orton line. It's 25th. It's like you call Phillip Rivers to come back. I think Jalen Hurts was pretty rough all year long and never seemed to improve and never seemed to have any answers and has Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert and all this stuff and still can't get it done against the defense they're playing their ass off. They're trying their hardest. They got a lot of injuries. He should be able to beat those guys. He has the most help and he does the least with them. So right.
I wouldn't deny that.
And Saquon, by the way, like he had a good game, but he just looks tired.
He does.
And with that many carries, like now we got to go into
2 years in a row where he's really been the workhorse of that team.
Right, he's 32 next year. Like I don't know. Like I'm.
If
he's on your fantasy team, anybody listening, get him off. So
he ruined my team in our league.
Well, that's another thing too. Like the last 2 weeks of the season, well, the playoff game and then the last week, he had good games, but before that, it was like 10 games in a row of crap.
Yeah.
All right, one more game. The Bears defeated the Packers. The Packers were winning this game.
Yep.
Was it 21-3?
Correct.
At one point,
21-3 or 21-6.
I have.
They blew this game.
I have a word for you: inertia.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
exactly what the
100% right.
Packers were going.
That's what
for.
their last 8 weeks were.
Yes.
If you showed
riding
me
inertia.
the Caleb Williams when he throws that awful interception, like he throws some interceptions that make you want to throw up. He threw one. It was terrible. In the red zone, he comes to the sideline and he starts doing that thing where he's yelling and crying and whining on the bench. That thing that he's done several times where you're like, oh no, he's losing it. If you had shown me that clip and said, do the Bears win this game? I never would a million years would have said yes. They win the game. The Bears come back. The Packers just... Is this the ultimate choke job? Is this the biggest choke you've ever seen in the playoffs?
It's one of them.
There's
I mean, there is the Music City Miracle.
Yeah, let's say there's worse.
Yeah, there's worse. But
the Music City Miracle was a play made, not a choke. Like we choked the game away.
But they were up like wasn't Houston up? I mean, Houston. Wow.
Well, yes, Houston and Buffalo. And
the
then
Oilers were up like
Buffalo,
$1 billion in that
Buffalo
game.
beat Houston in that big comeback.
Do we want to talk about the Falcons and the Patriots? I mean,
Yeah, right. I mean, that's
a
the
choke.
biggest
That's a
down.
choke.
Yeah. This game, though, like, I mean, the Packers just when I was watching that game, right, and they were up by what was it, 21-3, whatever it was, 21. When they went 3 and out, I turned to Nicole. I'm like, they're gonna lose this game. She's like, they're still up by like 2 touchdowns. I'm like, you can't go 3 and out. If you went 6 and out, I would have said you have a better shot of making this game, winning this game. 3 and out, and then you have to give the ball right back. They're losing the game, and they did.
Wow. Yeah, they did. And then the end of the game happened. We got Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
love this.
Doing the handshake runaway thing. Like, I don't know. How would you describe
It's a
this?
slap. It's a back slap.
And then in the locker room on a high
chanting "Fuck the Packers."
I love it. I love it.
Those guys. Fuck the
do too.
Packers.
I love
And
the
then-
idea.
so much.
The next
the
day, the media asked Ben Johnson, does he apologize for what he said? And he said, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I love the idea
Nor
that at
should
some
he.
point this devolves into Ben Johnston going to the handshake at midfield and just tapping Matt LaFleur in the balls and running away.
Not tap.
Not a full monkey steals the peaches. Just a tap.
No, that takes too long.
I mean, good for Bears fans. Good for Bears fans. They won it at
Absolutely.
Soldier
Why not?
Field. The last time the Bears beat the Packers, this is the stat. This is a hell of a stat. Was before Pearl Harbor.
Oh my god.
The last time the Bears beat the Packers in the playoffs was before Pearl Harbor. 1941. That's crazy. That's crazy. So good
go,
for the
boys.
Bears.
Yep,
Inertia.
doesn't
Packers
take long.
logo.
Yep. There. Look at that.
And in typical Packers fashion, of course they missed several field goals and extra points
Yeah. Right.
in
Yes,
the playoffs. They can't go a playoff game without missing kicks. Oh my god!
I mean, I know this sounds it doesn't sound crazy because we talked about it. Do they can LaFleur?
Not the
That's a
first time I've
rumor.
heard that.
No,
That's a
they're gonna
rumor.
keep him.
I also feel like though that
Or
would
are they
happen
going to
by
put
now.
out feelers to be like, "Hey, John Harbaugh, do you want to
Yeah.
be the coach of the Packers?"
Well, their
Because if
new,
so-
their new. We talked about this. Their new president said he doesn't want to. He's not sure he wants to give him a contract, but doesn't want a lame duck coach. I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff going around
All
with
this just
LaFleur.
strikes of complacency. Dare I say inertia? Because
Yeah, they're
everybody
very
just
inertia.
Stay in the path. That's what I got from at least for
Yeah.
1 year. I feel like everyone's just gonna
One more.
One more.
I mean, LaFleur is mostly a good coach. Like
I think he is.
he's mostly a good coach. He's got Jordan Love playing decent. Although, can he stop throwing off of his back foot all the time? Please stop doing
I
that.
figure at this point you'd learn. Who are you, Anthony Richardson? Come on.
I mean, he
Oh,
can
don't put that
can
hurt
do it. He has
Hey, do
the
you remember
arm
the time
talent
Anthony
to do it?
Anthony Richardson threw a 60-yard dime?
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yes, that one pass.
I still attest that was the best. That was the best pass I've ever seen in my life. That was,
It was
so
good.
perfect. Yeah.
He doesn't.
He literally used up all of his mojo on one
Yeah,
ball.
and it was
That's it.
the best throw I've ever seen is by Anthony Richardson.
And then he broke his own eye socket with his own knee,
Of course, he,
stretching.
Yeah, yep,
that'll happen.
that follows.
Who among us hasn't?
Right.
Me.
Right. So the Packers being out. All right. Real quick update. So I'm scoring our our playoff picks, and whoever loses has to be shot by the Nerf machine gun
Yes.
by Mr. Mike's son, who has a Nerf gun machine
Nerf
gun.
Gatling gun.
Nerf
He
Gatling
looks
gun.
like Jesse Ventura in Predator.
So
He's
Drew and
walking around the house saying, "I don't have time to bleed."
By the way,
I
did you
love
see
that.
Jesse Ventura this week go off?
yes,
I haven't heard a Jesse
I did
Ventura
not.
promo in 30 years.
unlikely voice of reason, Jesse Ventura. I love
What did he
it.
go off on?
The
shooting,
Minneapolis
the shooting.
Ah, got it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he cut a promo.
He did.
Okay.
Love Jesse.
Yeah.
Love Jesse. All right. Drew and Mark had the exact same picks. They had Rams, Bears, 49ers, Bills, and Patriots. Correct. They both had the Steelers wrong. I had Rams and Bears. I had the Eagles wrong. I had Bills, Pats, Texans. So I was the only one with the Texans. And then Mr. Mike, you had Rams, 49ers, but you had the Packers. Then you had Bills, Patriots, but you had the Steelers. So it's close. It's close. Two incorrect for Mr. Mike, one incorrect for the rest of us. So now it's time to
Joke's
pick
on you,
round
I've
two.
already been shot by it.
Yeah, good point.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I'm immune from this game.
You're immune. You're immune. Still have to get shot on camera. All right. Playoff picks round 2. Starting in the AFC, the Bills and Broncos. We sort of started to break this down. Tough place to play. Broncos are a real suspect. Bills are like a sandbag being carried to the finish line by Josh Allen. What are we thinking here? What are we thinking? Who wins this one? What's your pick?
I mean,
No one's going to say? I'm picking the
giving-
Bills.
I was
I'm
giving
picking the
Mark
Bills.
right of first
Oh, okay. I'm
refusal.
sorry. I didn't know
I'm
if
taking
you
the
wanted me to
Bills.
start.
I'm picking the
Sorry.
Bills. I'm picking the Bills.
Okay. No, so I think this game is going to be low scoring. I don't see a lot of points being put up, which I think helps the Broncos quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bills win. I think the Bills win in a very close game.
It's going to
I
be
think
close.
It's that 100% going to be close in this one. No blowouts at all. I think I think it's going to come down to whether the Bills can get pressure on Bo Nix and force him into making turnover-worthy plays, and I'll leave it at that.
I wonder if the Bills' strategy is to drop people and put more, because I don't think the Broncos' run game is that dangerous, and I wonder if they can.
But the Bills'
Rush
run
four.
defense sucks.
I know, but I wonder if they can rush 4 and drop people back, and that confuses Bo Nix a little bit. That's kind of my thought.
The Bills
but-
Ham
should.
sandwich could confuse Bo Nix.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right,
We'll
so
see.
that's 2 for the Bills. Go ahead, guys. Who we got?
Bills. Team of
Bills.
destiny.
Okay, we
the Bills.
sweep the Bills.
My heart says Bills.
Yeah, I'm rooting for them. Now that the Panthers are out, they're my number one choice, which is probably bad. You probably don't want that. You don't need that
That
juju.
stank on 'em.
You don't need Coach
stank
Sexbook on your side.
I trust you, Ryan. I trust you.
Well, there's so many Panthers involved with the Bills.
Yeah, right,
It's like
yeah.
Bills AFC, or Panthers AFC. All right, Patriots Texans.
Texans. Let me tell you about the Patriots. Let me tell you about these fuckers.
Cut a promo on those guys.
Okay. Here's my problem with the Patriots. This team, like I said, going into this playoffs, I felt like the Chargers were the only team in the AFC that they had a shot at beating, and they got them in the first round. So this team looked real bad up until the fourth quarter, and then the Chargers just charged all over themselves. I think the Texans, coming off that momentum of putting up that much points on the road. Now, granted, they got to go on the road again, but I just feel like there is a lot of momentum here. I don't feel like Stroud is going to have that bad of a game back to back. I think he's
Again.
going to put together a better series. Christian Gonzalez on the Patriots is in concussion protocol, and if he does not play, and that's tough to clear. Now they do play on Sunday, that's helpful, but that's a tough thing to clear when you get diagnosed on over a weekend to clear in 1 week. If he doesn't play, and I know Nico Collins isn't going to play either, I still think they have enough firepower to give them trouble, and I think the Texans win.
Okay, I would like to see that. I would like to see that.
I have Houston. I think that defense is dialed in. I think they're nasty, and I think they will throw things at Drake May that he has not seen yet.
Interesting.
I'm going to take Houston too.
Wow.
You got New England?
I can't believe I'm doing this.
I think the Pats. I think next year, if this game is played in a year from now, I think the Pats are a much more considerable threat. I don't think it's their time yet. I think they overachieved a little bit this year. I think they're a good team. I think Vrabel is going to. I would not be shocked if next year they're in the AFC title game. You know,
Sure.
they tweak a couple things in the offseason. Vrabel's a good coach. Like, I know everybody wants to kind of poo-poo him, but he made an AFC title game with Ryan freaking Tannehill.
Yep.
All right. I think he's a good coach, and he is going to have a lot more control and latitude and leeway in New England than he will any other place in the league. And I think Drake May, I think, is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I'm not.
Yeah, he definitely is.
I don't have him ranked yet, but, you know, in terms of young talent, like, he's pretty damn good. And that's a big part of the thing, is having that. And I think this is a year early for them.
I'm not doing that. I'm going Patriots. Patriots. I don't know why. If they're at home, I think Drake May can move out of the pocket. That's something that Poochie couldn't do. I think Stroud's not playing very well.
You don't have Nico Collins last week, and we weren't.
I don't feel great about Houston winning this game. I don't feel great about it. I hope I'm wrong. I don't want the Patriots to win. I don't know. I just don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about the Texans right now. I think that the Steelers are a lot worse than we thought. I think they're way, way, way worse than we thought. I think the Patriots are more stout. Texans can't really run the ball, despite the fact that they did in that game. The Patriots have a stouter front seven. Stroud doesn't have. I don't know. I just don't. I get bad vibes from this, so I'm going Patriots. Patriots. I didn't have that originally. When I picked everything, I don't think I had the Patriots winning the second round game, but I do now. All right, NFC time. 49ers are going to Seattle to face the Seahawks. Can Sam Darnold win the big one? Can the team of injured guys pull the upset?
Look, I think Chris Berman's finally going to get the Super Bowl he wants.
No,
Bills Niners, let's go.
Yes, right. He picks that all the time.
But this time I mean it. No, I think, look, I'm going to pick the Niners just because I need that karma in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a coin flip. I think it's something where either team can easily win this game, but I just think Seattle having to play the Niners again, and Shanahan sort of learning his lesson from that last game. And there were some fluky things that happened. Like I said, fluky things that happened in that game where the Niners had opportunities, and it sometimes you get a day where it just doesn't break your way. And I think that's what happened in that game. And they beat Seattle earlier in the year. So it's not like they lost to them both times this year. They beat them.
They beat them in week 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? They beat them in week 1.
Yeah, they beat them again in the season. But,
okay.
I'm taking the Niners.
All right.
Until Sam Darnold can prove it, which he hasn't yet.
True.
I got to go with the Niners because, I've seen him in big moments, and I've seen him not just fail to reach the moment, but actively sabotage his own team by throwing some of the dumbest picks I've ever seen. So the Niners we were talking about it too, have the momentum going into this because they're feeling it. You can tell they're feeling it. And I think that they will. I think McCaffrey, much like I said with Stroud, I don't think he's going to have 2 bad games in a row. I say bad games. He had 2 touchdowns in the last game. But I think he's going to put up a lot more yardage. I think they're going to grind it out. I think it's going to be another low-scoring game. And I think the Niners win this one. And honestly, I could see it coming down to a bad Darnold interception.
Or a fumble, or, again, it's going to be one of those weird things.
I have Seattle in a low-scoring affair, winning in spite of Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Like another
highly likely.
I just think there's not enough Niners left available.
The next guy up.
I also have Seattle, which is insane because I think Seattle is stupid, and I've been proven wrong this year. How many they've won in a row though? They've won like 9 in a row or something crazy.
But I don't.
Yeah. They have a week's rest. They've got a home. I mean, they're playing freaking 12th man. The Niners are down a bunch of dudes. They're going to have their work cut out for them against that defense. I don't think Darnold has to do too much if he can just not do too much.
But I think I mean, look, the Niners defense is playing really well, and I think
They
are
are
going to be able to confuse.
It's going to be
Darnold
close.
with a lot of stuff. I think it's a matter of, does Shanahan, is this again, yeah, it was for the 1 seed. It was an important game, but ultimately, did Shanahan keep some stuff close to the vest? Like they pulled that play out against Philly that they hadn't run since they beat the Saints in like a Week 14 match in 2017. Yeah. Right. Is he got stuff in the back of the playbook that he's going to bring out in this game?
He does. He does.
I think he does.
He does. I think it's. I don't know. I'm getting. I think Sam Darnold gets one. I think he gets one here.
Okay.
I think it's going to be close, though. I think it's going to be real close.
He hasn't done it yet.
He sure hasn't.
He just hasn't done it yet.
All right, one more. Rams and Bears.
Rams.
I'm going to say Bears.
Whoa! All right. Tell us
why.
Again,
just the this is just a feeling. I could not believe they came back and won that last game, and it's kind of like there's just something about this team.
They're home again.
Right? Yeah, and there's just something about them that I feel like they're just going to squeak out another win. I really have no justification. I have no justification for this. Just a feeling.
If you had asked me 2 weeks ago, I too would have said Rams. I think I'm going to take the Bears too.
Wow.
I think it's something where it's weird. The Rams came. I mean, no offense to you, Ryan. The Rams came out after kind of a stinker, and they got to hit the road and they got to go play in Chicago in the cold. And
yeah, it's not going to be easy.
Where it's not going to be an easy game. And Caleb Williams is playing decent. And I think, Ben Johnson is a pretty damn good coach we've seen this year. And the Bears D is not awful.
Right.
And I'm not really scared of the Rams D. I could see this turning into a shootout. This could be, this could be like a 35-28 game. Or
if it's a shootout, does that play into the hands of the Rams, though? Does that play into their strengths? I don't know.
I think it keeps them in the game more than it would if it was a grind.
Right.
But maybe, Ben Johnson might be smart and be like, all right, fine, guys, we're going to run the damn ball. Or we're going to do, 7-yard slants. It's the old Madden strategy. I'm going to do halfback blast, and then I'm going to do quick slant 7-yard passes across the middle, and I'm just going to move the ball down the field.
I saw a funny, they were talking about the weather into these going into this weekend, into the 4 games. And they said, Denver, notorious for bad snowstorms, 55 and sunny. New England, notorious for bad snowstorms. It's 40 and sunny. The Seattle one, known for massive rainstorms and wind. It's 30 and totally sunny. And then Chicago, minus 20 wind chill and massive windstorm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 3 out of the 4 are totally fine. And then poor Rams in Chicago.
Well, when they have that dome, it won't be a problem. Whenever they decide to do that. All right. Those are our picks. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see who gets shot with a Nerf Gatling gun. Right now, it's very, very close, and we got a lot of differences here. So, all right, but we're not done because we got a lot to break down because it's Stripe Spiral time, baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Straight Spiral, the shadowy journey into the greedy world of an amateur game that no longer exists. The word of Drew, a youngish observer on a crusade to champion the cause of the Chaos Agents, the Group of 5, the Vanderbilts, in a world of schools that operate as if above the law.
We got a national championship, baby. The stage is set.
We sure do. Now let's break down how we got here. We'll start with Miami and Ole Miss. Holy shit, what a game this was.
Wow.
There were 4 lead changes in the final 5 minutes of that game. Talk about Ole Miss first. For one, Pete Golding deserves every opportunity to do whatever he wants from a coaching standpoint in the next 5 years because of the way he has held this team together after the Lane Kiffin fiasco. And especially when half of his coaching staff has one foot out the door to LSU already, and he was still winning games to get him into a semifinal and be competitive. Love the people in the stadium wearing the Trinidad and Tobago hats for Trinidad Chambliss, which is an all-time great name. By the way, his appeal for a 6th year of eligibility, I believe, was denied. I think that now goes to state court, hilariously enough. As for Miami, they finally showed the Carson Beck they thought they were getting when they paid for him to come over from Georgia. A lot of poise from him, big game ability, didn't cough it up, remained cool under pressure, made the throws he needed to make. That freshman wide receiver they've got is dynamite, and by the way, an extraordinarily willing blocker in the run game. He's the key to their offense, and he's a true freshman. They also have a world-class defense. Their 2 defensive ends can change a game all by themselves. We'll talk about that again in a minute.
Oh, my God.
The last play of the game is what this comes down to, because everybody's complaining that there wasn't pass interference called on Miami in the end zone against Ole Miss's wide receiver. Here's why I'm ultimately okay with this. One, you can't convince me that that ball was super catchable in the first place. Second, people forget that in college, pass interference is not a spot foul. It's not like Ole Miss gets that ball on the 1. They get that ball on the 22 or whatever it was, and then have to attempt the whole thing again with an untimed down. And 3, watch the replays closely. Yes, Miami's corner has his fists in the jersey of Ole Miss wide receiver while he's looking back for the ball. Ole Miss wide receiver has that kid gripped by his collar. It's not like Ole Miss's wide receiver had his hands up trying to play the ball. They were equally fighting into the corner of the end zone on that play. So I am ultimately fine with there being no flag on that. Fast forward to Oregon and Indiana.
Oh boy.
Indiana real good.
They sure are.
They're real good. They're disciplined. They don't make mistakes. Their coach is a disciplined curmudgeon. I mean, Mendoza fumbles the ball once in that game, and his center chases it down from 15 yards behind the play.
Yeah, I love seeing their coach every time a penalty goes against his team. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's so funny.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the memes of their coach being the little angry guy from The Incredibles.
Yes,
who works in the insurance office.
And he's got a little bit of that Dwayne Johnson eyebrow in him when he wants to.
Yeah.
He's a Saban acolyte, and it is very, very clear that he runs his ship a lot like Nick Saban.
Like Nick Saban.
Yep.
Yeah, and all of his players have bought into his message of "We're Indiana, and nobody believed in you, and I believe in you." I mean, he's still got 7 kids from his James Madison team starting for him who were one-star recruits or less. Mendoza, by the way, in the interview after the game, that kid got a little bit of the Dabo in him.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You put a microphone in that kid, he starts talking about how pure college football is and how much he loves Jesus. If the rumor is true and he goes to the Raiders, he's gonna have to stop that shit in a hurry.
No way, you kidding me? With the Raiders Latino fan base and a guy named Mendoza, they're gonna sell a billion jerseys.
Yeah. In the meantime, let's talk about Oregon.
There's going to be Virgin Mary candles with his face on it all over the place.
In a Raiders jersey, I would get one.
Yep. Sacred Heart in this hand, football in this hand.
Let's talk about Oregon for a minute. Dan Lanning had that smile on his face from about the second quarter on of, well, so much for that. Nothing I can do about this. And not totally his fault. Obviously, Oregon had a great season. Dante Moore did nothing, in my opinion, to help his draft stock.
No,
wow. Him in the first place,
He's terrible.
He looked deflated and defeated early on in that game. Never mind that his first pass was a pick 6. He stumbled and snowballed from that point forward.
The phrase I saw the most on social media about him when I'm watching it happen, uninterested.
Yes.
And that's a terrible stigma to have.
Yeah. Once they were out, he was out.
Done.
It's hard to remember a quarterback of his stature and his draft stop having such a memorable flame out in an important game. Plenty of really good college quarterbacks who went on to success in the NFL have lost important college football games, but not in the way that Moore did. The last one I can think of, honestly, was Jameis Winston in that game
Oh yeah, right.
against Oregon when the turf monster grabbed him and he threw that sumbitch up for grabs.
It's a good thing that never translated to the NFL, right?
Yeah. Whatever happened to that guy?
30-30 season, but it wasn't home runs and stolen bases. So fast forward, we now get Miami and Indiana, to which other Greg texted me this week. He said there is somebody dwelling 2 doors down from me who has been displaying 2 flags prominently so far all the entire fall, which has been the Puerto Rican flag and the flag for the University of Miami. He's like, I don't know them at all, but I need to befriend them before Monday's game because that's the place to watch the game. He's like, I think I'm just going to buy a bunch of Bad Bunny stuff and conspicuously walk slowly in front of their house until we start a conversation. Anyway, Miami gets a home game for the national championship game, which may not make a difference, but nobody's talking about that. Like, they're going to play in their home stadium for this. Indiana is a juggernaut. We'll get back to Indiana in a minute. But this game has an extraordinary number of parallels in my mind to the undefeated Patriots and the Giants Super Bowl.
Okay.
You have a team that has not stumbled at all, except for that game against Penn State, which you can parallel that to the Patriots game they played against the Giants and Ravens late in that season before the playoffs started, which they ultimately won, but could have lost either one. Miami is in so many ways that Giants team, not the least of which is that they can create havoc with an offensive line with just 4 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that can make a difference if you can drop 7, even against an explosive offense like Indiana. Couple that with the fact Miami, in the game against Ole Miss, controlled the ball for 42 minutes.
Jeez.
If they can keep Indiana off the field and keep it a 1-score game, like I said, am I picking Miami? I'm not. I'm still picking Indiana. But like, would I be shocked if Miami pulled this off Giants style because they get to Mendoza a bunch? Now, I grant Mendoza is more mobile than Tom Brady ever was. But like, they could absolutely get to him without having to blitz. And if they can control the ball with their excellent running game, Miami's got a puncher's chance in this thing. And I don't know that anybody's taking them quite that seriously because Indiana's an 8.5-point favorite. Now, again, I still think Indiana's going to win. Now, here's what happens if Indiana wins. I think, having done the impossible, having run the table with an undefeated football championship season at Indiana, I believe that Kurt Signetti immediately ascends to heaven like Percival after he finds the Holy Grail. He becomes a figure of myth like Frodo. There's nothing left for him to do on this mortal plane.
Signetti gets on the boat to wherever Frodo went.
There's nothing for him left to do on the mortal plane, and he ascends to the next plane of existence immediately after the trophy ceremony.
There's something to be said.
Is there a seal that opens if he wins?
Maybe?
Are there going to be 7 trumpets? I'm a little concerned. I better get right with God this week.
I love when the U is relevant and like
I do
in it.
too.
It's
more fun.
The football is just more. College football is so much more fun with the U around.
And in this case, they're kind of not heels.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
they're going to be
though forever.
Gonna be.
I mean,
it'll happen.
I was going to say, I mean, one, ask Notre Dame. They still think Miami's a heel because of their history and because Miami's the team that kicked Notre Dame out of the playoff.
Yeah.
But by and large, in the national zeitgeist, I don't think they're the heel in this game, and I don't think Indiana is either.
But you give them a couple of years of like kind of at the top of the thing, they are gonna
they will be the heel immediately.
They're gonna send Marty Jannetty right through that barber glass window, that barbershop.
I knew he was gonna do that. I knew he was gonna do that.
They are.
You know who didn't? You know who didn't get sent through a barbershop window?
No.
X-Pac.
As far as we know.
Oh wow! He almost made it the whole show without
almost like with a shave.
X-Pac!
Think you can tell us what to do? Yeah. You think you can tell us what to win?
You know, we've come a long way because we had the USS Cristobal, and and now he's in the national championship.
Now he's in the national championship game. As recently as like 6 weeks ago, I accused him of doing less with more, worse than any coach in college football.
I mean, at one point he was the true ass man.
I'm a nice man.
But now look at him.
Did he find the traveling pants or something?
There he is.
Well, he's lurking behind you, as always.
As always.
All right. Wow. I can't wait to see. Can't wait to see that game.
Hulk Hogan, I'm going to smash you. Ah.
Oh, Andre.
All right, time for a foo bar. We ready?
Yep.
Anybody want to?
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not of intelligence and morality, but of stupidity and hubris. A journey into a hellscape whose boundaries are the limits of human depravity. That's a fallen goalpost up ahead. Your next stop, Football Foobar.
All right.
So this is going to be a short one because it's one I just discovered last weekend when I was watching. So I was watching all the playoff slate, all those games, and we got about 50 hours of pregame coverage from the, I guess, 20 networks now that broadcast the NFL. I don't even know, where else to find them anymore.
I'm going to watch the next week's game on Jigaboo.
Yeah, my favorite. Watching the CBS pregame NFL Today broadcast, we saw the usual cast of characters, including former NFL wide receiver Nate Burleson, who is a bit of a crossover appeal these days. He's also the co-host of CBS's regular morning show, not so cleverly named CBS Mornings.
Morning show.
Yep. And I've got nothing against Burleson. I think he's actually I think he's funny. I think he is definitely the least offensive of all the talking heads on CBS's show. He's got a good sense of humor, but that doesn't mean he should get a free pass from Football Foobar, because today we'll be inducting Nate Burleson into these hallowed halls for a very specific incident, one involving late nights and driving, and no, not drinking, and no, not drugs, and no, not whores. We're talking about pizza. So at the time of the incident in September 2013, Burleson was a key wide receiver for the Detroit Lions and was having a standout season, as anyone can, I guess, for the 2013 Detroit Lions. After watching Monday Night Football with his teammates, notice they weren't playing in it, Burleson picked up 2 whole pizzas from Happy's Pizza in West Bloomfield, Michigan, which is about 5 miles down from his house. While driving home in his 2009 GMC Yukon at approximately 2:30 a.m., the boxes began to slide off the front passenger seat. Now, we've all been there. We've all been in that situation. You got to bring pizza back, right?
Yeah.
Burleson, using all of his pass-catching ability, reached over to steady the boxes to prevent them from hitting the floor. As he reached, he inadvertently steered toward another vehicle that was coming right at him. He then overcompensated his steering, smashing right into a wall on I-696. While he was wearing his seatbelt, however, he did manage to break both his ulna and radius bones in his left arm. The story went viral after that, with many mocking the idea of a professional athlete risking his season for a pizza. However, Burleson handled that embarrassment very well. He's, like I said, a very funny guy, claiming to be the 5th Ninja Turtle, which was the reason why he was so after that pizza. The marketing team at DiGiorno gave him a year's supply of free pizza just for the shits and giggles of it.
Wow.
They gave him a letter saying that they understand the risks of delivery and suggested he never do that again and just have DiGiorno home pizza for the rest of his life. So, while it sounded like a funny little story about Nate Burleson,
just send me to prison then.
well, it sounded like a funny little story for Nate Burleson. It did require surgery. He did end up missing 7 games. He missed up 7 games, though he did eventually return later that season. In the year since that, he has admitted that is his biggest career regret. And remember, this is a man who played willingly for the Lions. So that is quite the statement.
Willingly.
He did jeopardize his career and his entire season that year just for a pair of deep dish pizzas. So Nate Burleson, quick little one today. More of a funny, amusing anecdote, but you still get inducted into Football Foobar.
You know what else Nate Burleson does for a job, right?
What's that?
He's part of the Nickelodeon football slime show.
Nice.
He gives out those trophies to Mitch Trubisky. That's one of his jobs.
Just to Mitch Trubisky. It's in his
contract. The MVP. He gives that out.
I told you the funniest thing is, like, they were talking to like James Cook in the Bills, locker room, and you could see Trubisky's locker, and he had the trophies, which is in his locker, which is great.
Why not? All right. Sad boy boat. Who's real sad? Who's going on the sad boy boat this week? Seems like you got someone, Megastar Mark. Who you got?
I was gonna say. So they're happy now, but man, I feel like Steeler fans are gonna regret this.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Yeah, they're not sad right now. They were
No, they're
chanting
real
"Fire
happy.
Tomlin"
Yeah,
during the game.
Right. Okay. Be careful what you wish for, I guess.
Remember when Killer Greg last year went to a Steelers game randomly? He just texted us like, "I'm at a Steelers game right now." Like, what? Why? Why are you there? Why are you by yourself? Okay, sure. It's a very Killer Greg move. But he said he was talking to people in a section. Everyone wanted him fired. All the Steelers fans wanted Tomlin fired at that point.
Okay, well, you got your wish.
You're getting your wish now. We'll see what happens. I mean,
Be careful what you wish for. You might
be time for a change. But sad boy boat for me. I'm going to put Matt LaFleur on. The choke of the biggest choke since the Falcons. Matt LaFleur, you belong on the sad boy boat. Who you got, Drew?
I had somebody.
All right, Mr. Mike.
No, sad boy boat Nick Sirianni, because now he has no protection and it's all on him.
Yep.
His shield is gone. Mr. Mike.
I'm going to say AJ Brown because for somehow he will get stuck playing in Philly again.
You think he's going to be back? Wow.
No.
That would be crazy.
It's Philly.
All right. Game balls. Who are you giving a game ball to, Megastar Mark?
Caleb Williams. Man, he showed up in that game. He may have arrived. We'll see.
Do you think Ryan Clark said he's in the top 5 of quarterbacks right now? Do you think that's insane or somewhat plausible?
Ryan Clark said it, so yes, it's insane.
Well, there's only 18. There's only 8 teams left in the playoffs, so it's plausible.
Yeah.
No, Ryan Clark is an idiot.
He's also forced to work 13 hours a day on television. That's a lot.
I get it. But I mean, in terms of bad takes,
you gotta get so many takes out that are somewhat intelligent. But okay.
Him and Rodney Harrison are like neck and neck for like the dumbest opinions.
What about Jason Garrett? Somebody interviewed Jason Garrett.
I saw that. Yeah,
Jason Garrett has lapped himself.
Yeah. Cleveland.
Game ball to Jason Garrett. 10 years after you sucked, you're getting another interview.
Yeah.
That's who I'm giving a game. All right. Drew, game ball.
With all the appropriate mea culpas, game ball Mario Cristobal.
Clearly,
I was wrong.
Mr. Mike, close us out.
I've got two game balls.
Oh.
One is for a player, and it's Josh Allen. That was a really fantastic performance out of him when it looked like a couple times in that game where it looked like Jacksonville was beginning to pull away. He just nope. And they had the 13-yard tush push. He's just awesome. I know I'm not a Bills fan. My son might be becoming a Bills fan. I don't know. It could just be by contact with my father-in-law. But he's just fun to watch every week. I truly enjoy watching the Bills, which makes me a party of one as Bills fans. I actually enjoy watching the game because I don't have any skin in it. But and my other announcer game ball goes to the evil one, Tom Brady.
What?
I will say this: he has gotten 1,000% better.
Yeah, he has
in the booth, and he was dropping stuff in that Niners game that was utterly fascinating. I think he's realized. Oh, I should just stop trying to be awkward and the cool guy and just embrace the fact that I am a gigantic football dork. Mm-hmm. Every element of my life has been centered around football for the last 25 years. He's explaining how to throw the ball in the wind with angles and when he saw the play with McCaffrey as it opened up. He goes, oh, and he knew where the ball was going. Mm-hmm. To me, that's cool. Look, he's evil. He won a lot of Super Bowls, but to me, in a sense, it is fascinating to see how his brain works in regards to football. I'd love to sit down with him and just have him talk to me about football because I feel like I would come out of that conversation 1,000% better than I know anything about anything. So I'm giving some praise for the evil one. I don't care, but
did you just knock things over when you did that?
Somebody shoot himself?
No, I have a plastic bin full of Cub Scout stuff next to me. Because I went full Italian And
Yeah.
I talk with my hands back.
I thought like the Dark Lord had done something.
I feel like-
He sent you a gift or something for talking about his boy.
I feel like I would talk if Tom Brady was in front of me and he was going on about like, football intricacies. I'd be interested, and then I would definitely do the monkey steals the peaches halfway through
100%.
just to take him down.
100%. I'm with you. Cosign.
I let him think that I'm with him, and then
Just get him.
yeah, right.
Get him. All right, plug time. What's on Bloody Good Music this week?
Chris on a tear while I sit on my lazy ass. He has reviewed the new Morrissey single, the new Alter Bridge record, and the new Soen record.
Oh, let me guess. Morrissey is sad.
No, Morrissey's an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, that's yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's great stuff. The 10,000 Maniacs article.
Yeah, my God.
Hey, it's the 10,000 Maniacs article.
Hey, it's the
That's what it
10,000
should have been
Maniacs.
titled.
Our reaches.
It's like a part of the article. It's not the full picture, but
That was
I
just-
did it.
I talked about it on the other show. That's the best TJF episode I ever saw. That was so good.
It's pretty good. TJ podcast. We're working on the next one. So get the Christmas one. There's another 56 of them. So go find them. I don't know. I got to work on. You know what I have to work on is I almost said Drew. Benevolent ruler Greg taking over Morocco. I forgot about this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What he would do with Morocco if he got the proper license to fly. I have to work on that clip.
Yeah.
He'd be too lazy to take over Morocco because he'd need a special license from the DMV, and he just would never get it.
That sounds very on par for Greg.
Yes, it is. All right. Well, that is it. We are out of here. You can get some merch if you want to. I got to work on the inertia. We got to make a Packers inertia shirt. We need to do that for Packers fans. All right. Well, we're out of here. We'll see you in the divisional round. We'll see what we got right. We'll see you with a national champion. We'll have a national champion next week. All right. Peace out. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Go Bills.
Off in the distance, around the corner, out of sight. You still waiting, hidden just beyond the light. And all in a moment, hard to seem to fall in line.